November 30th once came around, and Galilee felt close again. Welcome to Daily Saints with Grace. Fast, faithful stories told with clarity and heart. He had cast nets his whole life. He knew the life of men who tried, failed, and tried again. That was Andrew. Steady hands, quick eyes, big heart. He was the brother who brought another brother to Jesus. He was the first to say, "We found him," and in that sentence, a church began to breathe. Tonight we told his story the way the lake once held his boat. Simple, solid, and deeper than it looked. He lived on the water's edge, where days began with cold rope and ended with tired laughter. He knew the kind of work that depended on whether you couldn't control. Failure visited often, so did providence. Farmers and fishermen learned the same math. Plan well, work hard, and then surrender what the sky decided. Andrew had learned that rhythm before he ever heard a rabbi's voice. It made him ready for a faith that asked the same things. Work, pray, and trust in equal measure. Andrew stood near John the Baptist when a quiet fire walked by. "Behold, the Lamb of God," the prophet said, and the words landed like a thrown rope. Andrew followed. He spent a day that felt like an hour, then ran to Simon. "We found the Messiah," he said, breathless with news that didn't fit in a sentence. He pulled his brother toward Jesus, and the Lord renamed Simon Peter. A family changed direction because one brother refused to keep good news to himself. From there, the days blurred into dust and astonishment. Andrew watched storms fall silent and baskets multiply beyond counting. He learned how the teacher walked, never above, always ahead. He wasn't loud. He didn't chase the center of the room. But when lists were written, his name kept returning. He acted like a hinge, small, unnoticed, necessary. Pentecost burned, and the world opened. Tradition told how Andrew moved through Greece, Asia Minor, and paths that bent toward the Black Sea. He spoke simply and stayed when places grew complicated. Some stories named cities. Some named only people who listened at night and returned at dawn with friends. The records were thin. The fruit was thick. Location traditions exist. The details stayed humble. It ended, if endings could be called endings, in Patras. He was condemned. Many said he was bound, not nailed. That he preached for days from a cross shaped like an X. The shape became a sign, saltire, a letter that looked like a crossroads. Was every detail exact? Later centuries loved to fill the silences. But the heart of it stood. He followed his master to the end and kept speaking until breath gave out. After Rome, his road kept going in ways only relics and legends could manage. Pieces of him, it was said, moved through Constantinople, then Amalfi. Other tellings spoke of Rule/Regulus, dreams, and a long journey to Kilremont, the place we now call St. Andrews. Another tale said a king saw a white cross spread across a blue sky before battle at Athelstaneford. A sign of help. Whether legend or liturgy of memory, a nation kept his sign and his day. Traditions acknowledged. Not all details are historically verified. He became patron of Scotland and Greece, of fishermen and sailors, and, older lists said, of spinsters and others who built life with quiet hands. Patronages multiplied where his story fit. If you lived by weather and risk, if your work needed courage before dawn, Andrew felt like family. He was the apostle for people who tried again tomorrow. He likely loved his old life. The nets, the shore, the same faces at dinner. He did not follow Jesus because that life was miserable. He followed because there was more meaning, more truth, more dare. He traded good for better, and the trade still asked us the same question. When the Lord walked by our ordinary, did we keep the net or carry the news? If Andrew's courage steadied you, comment, "I won't keep the good news," like this so others find it. Subscribe for daily saints told with clarity and heart, and share this with someone standing at their own shoreline.